If John's gone, who's in charge of Winterfell?
The Lady of Winterfell? Lady Stark?
Which Lady Stark?
You tell us. You're the one impersonating her sister.
All right, so we all have seen that scene now since season 7, and when we watched it, I remember when we had our live stream afterwards, we were all like, "What the fuck? What do you mean, which Lady Stark?" So, what does that mean exactly? What was she referring to? Let's get into it and figure out which other Lady Stark Arya was talking about.
Yeah, so I guess why we're all puzzled is there were only 2, other than herself, there were only 2 other Lady Starks, and she knows her mom's dead.
Right, and I first thought about it, and I didn't put much thought into it, honestly, but I first thought about it and thought, is this like a little shout out to Stoneheart or something? Just a shout out to the books? But thinking about something else the other day.
Would she be, I'm sorry though, would she be savvy enough to test them? To see if they said...
That is true.
What do you mean which one? Arya Stark's dead.
That is true. That is a possibility too, actually. You know, maybe she's... But she had already said, "I'm Arya," or "I'm her," something like that, right?
She did.
So I think she'd already introduced herself.
She sure did.
So there's only one thing it really can be after you think about it for a little while.
All right, let me think.
She had heard from Hot Pie, right?
Yeah.
In the inn at the crossroads, and we don't know how long it took. It took weeks for her to get from the crossroads to Winterfell. Maybe a month or more. So a lot of time had passed from the time she heard, and all he said was...
where she's eating the pie like a Marine in boot camp.
Exactly.
Yeah. She's
starving. Hot Pie comes in there and gives her the news, because she was headed to King's Landing, and gives her the news that Jon Snow is now king in the north, and the Boltons are dead. When she said, "Why would I go to Winterfell?" And he gave her that news, and she was like, "What? You're kidding." And that's what made her change directions, right?
That's right.
So, the only thing it can be, honestly, is... she just assumed Jon was married.
Motherfucker.
So,
that's too simple.
Yeah,
but you're right.
It is. It's really simple, but that's really the only explanation it can be if you think about it. She probably assumed that Jon declared himself a Stark because he was elected king in the north.
Yes.
He had, and by the time she had gotten to Winterfell, probably taken a wife, because that's the first thing you do is take a wife and make an heir. And probably had a new Lady Stark, as in his newlywed.
Exactly.
And so she was just not sure of that. Of course, just traveling on the road between.
She had that much time to think about it.
She had that much time to think about it. Like, is there another? Does he have a wife now? Is he married? So when she says which Lady Stark, it was a valid question when you think about it that way.
It really is.
Are we talking about Sansa or Jon's wife?
That's right.
The new Lady Stark. So, when you think about it in those terms, it makes sense, but when you first see that, you're just like, what? Was that
I definitely was.
Was that a continuity error that bad?
Right.
That you forgot Catelyn was dead?
Exactly. That's exactly what I was thinking it was.
Yeah, I think a lot of people did. They were just shocked and puzzled, and I was too. I just didn't think about it at that time. That he had probably, declared himself Jon Stark or whatever, and taken a wife, and there you go, there's your new Lady Stark that she was asking about.
That's so cool, man.
So it's so simple,
yeah, good
but I think it deserves an explanation.
It does. I needed it. I really did.
Anyway, we'll leave that one there. That's pretty short and sweet, so I think that pretty much answers the question. I know it's fairly simple. Anyway, guys, appreciate all the support. Really appreciate it, especially you guys on Patreon. And a huge shout out to my executive Patreon smokescreen producers, Griffin, Lala, Kissa, Powell, Marylin, Bentley, Anonymous.Colliday, Goska, HoonJive, Lo, Horton, Erin, Habig, John, Carey, Anastasia, Jason Landers, DTizSmith, MJW, Carole Brown, D Brown, Michael Colton, Lisa Phillips, and Alfred Borstmayer. Thank you guys so much. I really appreciate the support. And to everyone on Patreon, you guys are literally keeping this channel alive during the long night. So I really appreciate it. And to everyone on YouTube, really appreciate the support as well. If you dig what we do here, please drop a like on this video and share these videos if you enjoy them. Maybe other people will as well. Be sure to subscribe to get everything, and be sure to click that notification bell so you're notified half at a time anyway when I drop a new video. So thanks for watching. We'll see you